good, Unlockable Character fam? We have the Discord going, guys. I just got out of the gym. I posted a play this morning, and some of you have already made hundreds and hundreds of dollars of profit, okay? So join the Discord, guys. It's $9.99 a month. I'm posting all the research I'm doing as well as the play that I'm making in this short-term option plays thread. You won't see any of this if you're not subscribed. We already have 2 members who took the play and made $500 quickly on the option, okay? So much to look forward to. Definitely check out the Discord. Right now, we are going to be heading towards Tropical Smoothie because I just got out of the gym. I need something to eat. And then after Tropical Smoothie, we will get the car washed at Auto Craze. So let's get going, guys. Put this thing in track mode. Make sure the valves are open. Be driving in rear wheel drive today with the burbles off. And let me put in the destination, guys. We are going to be going to Tropical Smoothie in Cumming. So that should give us a good ride. There it is. All right, about half an hour, guys. In the beginning, I'll just take it easy and talk about the Discord. We already have 17 people on the Discord, okay? And that means that they are paid members. This is the early access membership, and they get behind the scenes footage that no one else is gonna see on YouTube. They get a 50% off on life coaching from me. They also get to see the actual plays that I'm making on stocks and cryptos and options. So if you wanna make a ton of money, we had 2 people today already make hundreds of dollars, and all they've spent so far is $9.99 on that monthly membership, guys. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lead you wrong. I'm not selling $1,000 courses. It's a $9.99 membership, and you are going to get the opportunity to make thousands of dollars of money, if not more. And as I told the members in the Discord today, scared money don't make money, guys. What I do is I will post research, I will post my premise, which is like what my theory is about where the money, the price is gonna go, and then I'll actually post the play that I'm gonna make. And today, this morning, the play was 0 days to expiration. It's called 0 DTE. It's an option that expires today on NVIDIA. This morning, NVIDIA was around $127. And I said, you know what, guys? You can buy an option that's in the money, like $125 strike price. And by the time NVIDIA hits $130, which I was confident in, you would be making hundreds of dollars of profit based on how much you put in. So we had a few Discord members do exactly that, and they've already made hundreds of dollars of profit in one day, guys. That's just one day. You just sign off. If you make $500 in a day, that's all you need to do. And I will teach you guys also how to read the charts, how to actually read the financials of companies, and how to think like I'm thinking to make the plays that I'm thinking about. So I'm so excited, guys. I have like a real buzz going just from the fact that we got the community up and going. We've already made some money together, and you know, it's only up from here, guys. It's only up from here. For those of you that don't know, I talked about Jeffrey Epstein on the last video, and you know, some people are just so blind to the truth because they don't want to get out of their bubble. They're too comfortable. They don't want to believe the truth. But a lot of people in this country, they just don't have time to do the research. They're just struggling to get by, you know what I mean? So when you start talking deep to them, they don't care. The only thing they care about is the next dollar, you know, the next meal on their plate. How are they gonna pay their rent? And that's what America actually does to people. It breaks them down. It removes their economic freedom and critical thinking because all they can think about is how do I get to my next paycheck? And that's how this society has been designed, guys. That's by design. But I promise, you know, if you follow me, if you hear what I'm trying to say, I'm not just gonna tell you the truth. I'm going to make you understand that there are parallel worlds for you to make money, like options, like the stock market, where you can break free. Imagine if you made $500 a day. Now, I'm not saying that's typical, but like if you could make a few $100s a day on trading, would you need to work your day job anymore? Just think about that. And then if you're making money trading, you're not worried about who's paying you. So you don't care about, you know, being politically correct, which is also by design, guys, to keep people, you know, quiet and to not make people talk about things which would be considered controversial, because they don't want that. They don't want the truth out there, guys. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. The way I've seen, you know, people get handled by the system, especially in the South, it's so disheartening. When you go to court, you know, and these people don't know what they're doing in court, they basically get maximum fines, maximum convictions. And if they just took a little bit of time to research what is in their own power, their own civil rights, they could beat all of their cases. But like I said, people are struggling to get by. They don't even have time to think. And what happens with that is people get beaten down by the system and they never get a chance to get up on their own feet. Well, I am trying to give people that chance. I'm not some crazy, you know, scam artist. Like, I'm a real person. I'm a real dude. I have amazing experiences across the financial industry. And now I'm taking that knowledge, I'm taking all the wisdom I've gained from around the world, guys. I've lived around the world: India, Sri Lanka, England, the United States, Pittsburgh, Philly, New York, Boston, Seattle, Atlanta, London, Colombo, Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay. I've traveled to over 40 countries, guys. And what I'm trying to tell you is I've seen the other side. I made sure that I didn't become like a robot in the process of, you know, growing my career. I always stayed true to myself. And now I've seen this country go in such a negative direction for so long that I can't stand it anymore without trying to help people. And that's what actually activates my soul. All right, guys, so I will post the link again to the Discord. And for Wealth Wednesdays moving forward, you know, it will be maintained in terms of what the plays are, what the portfolio is in Discord. I will give some advice here and there on the YouTube, but you're really gonna have to get on the Discord if you want to make some serious money, guys. And not only that, you're gonna be connecting with a community of men who are really, really amazing. I should say men and women, but in general, just amazing people who are talented in all different areas, who are going to be coming together to give each other knowledge, to help each other with connections, and to really unlock the best version of each of us, okay? So I'm super excited if you can't tell already. So we have Waze here running. We'll be careful here with the road pirates. Already pulled over a pickup truck. Got a taxi in front of us, that's pretty funny. Looks like we got a lot of cops out today, guys, so I'm gonna take it easy when I see them. But in between, we can definitely have some fun. But yeah, guys, Nvidia on the way up, it dropped down to $118 in June, and that's like free money when you think about it. The way people just bunch up is so idiotic. I can't even comprehend how dumb that shit is. But guys, the reason that people don't trade is because, one, they're too scared, two, they think they're gonna lose a lot of money, and three, the people who have been considered investment professionals have made it seem like it's some complex, technical, like foreign language that you have to learn. It's really not. And now more than ever, it's accessible to anyone. You can use Robinhood, you can use Webull, you can use other brokerages. I would say try to start with something where it's free to trade, like Robinhood. And just start with, if you don't even want to trade options, if you just want to build some wealth for yourself, this is what I tell people when I life coach them. You first need to build a budget so you know how much money you can save. So if you make $1,000 a month and you can save $200, that means you have $800 to spend in that month, right? Now take away all your bills like rent, car, utilities. You're gonna be left over with maybe, as an example, let's say you got left over with $500. That's how much you can spend the whole month. So you have to break it down by day. And each day, you then know how much can I spend today without dipping into my savings, okay? So if you started with $1,000, you wanna save $200, that means you're left with $800. Maybe your bills are $300, now you're left with $500. You divide 500 by 30 or however many days there are in a month, that's how much money you could spend that day, okay? And what you're gonna do with that $200 savings that you put aside is you can invest it on a repeat schedule in apps like Robinhood, so that the day you get paid, Robinhood will take $200 out and automatically invest it in what you want. So that could be a bunch of different stocks, or it could just be one stock. And for right now, my recommendation, the easiest thing that you could do is invest in NVIDIA on a repeat basis every time you get paid. Whatever that amount is that you're able to save and put into an app like Robinhood, have it on a repeat schedule. And then you don't even need to look at it. In fact, even if there was a major market move and things went south, I would say don't take that money out. Just keep putting that money in. Remember, this is money that you have to be willing to just let sit and grow, okay? If someone had told me this when I was 18, I would be a multimillionaire by now, okay? Just to keep things in perspective. So imagine 3 years from now, you finally look back at your account and every 2 weeks you've been putting in $100 or $200 to NVIDIA. You actually might be in the 6 digits because of how much NVIDIA has potential to grow, because of what's going on with AI and technology today. All right, so that is some free game. And if you want some more in-depth game, like how do you make thousands of dollars per day trading options on NVIDIA that expire the same day, you got to join the Discord to figure it out, okay? I really hope you guys are truly enjoying the content. Some people are calling me based, and to be honest, I don't, that term based, what I would really like people to understand is I'm based in the true reality, the ground reality. I'm not swayed by other people who are scam artists or other people who are caught up in the matrix. I'm not swayed by society and people's expectations of what you should be in society. I really am living my own truth, and in doing so, I am grounded. So I would say I'm grounded. I'm not based, because based can have a really negative connotation. And I know some of you asked about spirituality, right? So you know that the track number on my car is 777. And that is a very spiritual number in a number of different religions. I grew up in a household that was Hindu, and we went to the temple, and I learned a lot about the Vedas, the ancient Vedic scripts that predated Hinduism. But I also learned a lot about other faiths like Christianity, Judaism, you know, Islam. And what I've tried to do my entire life is take as much knowledge as possible from all of the faiths. And the more and more I've understood spirituality, I really have come to understand that within each of us is essentially light in our DNA. And what you can do is reprogram your mind to make the most out of the cellular activity within your body, okay? There is so much potential for your mind to help you get through disease, mental illness, periods of just chaos in your life. A lot of it has to do with conditioning your mind. And the first 7 years of people's lives, they are traditionally programmed by belief systems within their family and within society. And now more than ever, we have to wake up and say, you know, maybe those first 7 years, I was conditioned the wrong way. I need to re-find my inner child, the inner child that is going to unlock, you know, what I'm truly associated with in my heart, in my DNA, in my soul. And a lot of Americans are spiritually just void. They might go to church even, but they don't understand spirituality. Church for them is just a community. It's not really a way for them to unlock the best version of themselves. So I would say that more than ever, you should lean towards spirituality rather than religion, because religion is still run by very corrupt individuals and organizations. The Vatican is one of the most corrupt institutions in the world, if not the most corrupt institution. They have so much hidden wisdom and just knowledge in the library of the Vatican that's hidden from people to access. And that's not what, you know, believing in God should be about. Let's also not kid ourselves that the pedophile ring that runs the world is deeply connected to the Vatican. It's deeply connected. Okay, guys? So what I would recommend is leaning into spirituality and learning about spirituality from all the religions without trying to tie it into one religion, and without trying to say I need to go to this mosque or this temple or this church. And that's how I approach things. And personally, what I think is that when we say man was made in the image of God, what we really mean is that our consciousness is essentially the universe experiencing itself. And there's a way of thinking about this, which is, if there was, you know, one master being who essentially created the universe, what happens if that master being was essentially alone and bored? And so parts of that consciousness may have started to spread into the universe, and so that it could experience the universe itself in many different forms and ways. And that's that creative life force, and that's how I look at that. Okay, guys? One of the most intense experiences I ever had was with a psychotropic substance where I thought it was lasting for hours, but it was actually just a few minutes, and I was rolling around on the ground and I didn't know. But I was transported into outer space, guys, and what I saw was this massive hand in space, and each finger was a universe on that hand. And as the finger essentially bent, that universe was collapsing, and it was intensely painful for me to experience that. And I kept trying to see what that hand was connected to like look back, but I couldn't see what that hand was, and it drove me crazy. And that experience has shaped a lot of my beliefs, because it was as if I was transported into almost like a third-party perspective of myself floating in space, witnessing some epic, you know, spiritual moment where I realized that maybe there are parallel universes, maybe universes can collapse on themselves, and not only that, there is something behind it all, and I'm struggling to see it and struggling to find it. Now, early on I thought, oh, that means I need to figure out what God is. But now, more than ever, I've realized the real question is, who am I? And so, by creating this YouTube channel, by creating the Discord, by life coaching young men and young individuals, they don't just have to be men, I have started to answer who am I, because on my career path, I have made choices to put myself in the most uncomfortable situations to grow as quickly as possible. And people might see that as, oh, you switch jobs a lot, but I've learned so much along the way, and I have made sure that I never got programmed into a robot along the way. And now it's my turn to give back and to really help people break free of maybe programming that they don't even know that they are caught up in. So I really am answering that question, who am I? And by answering that question, I'm getting closer to God, and I'm no longer worried about like what God is. And so that's a lot of peace for me. That's a lot of activation of my soul and my spirit and my energy. And through that process, what I've discovered is that there is something happening in my life where I'm following this path, that doors are opening, the wealth is being manifested, the connections are being created, and I have almost like a defensive aura around me that prevents negative people and negative energy from affecting me. And some of that aura is also, you know, manually handled. I have removed access from myself for people who just are not good for me, you know what I mean? And in Atlanta, you really have to think about that. Wow, that was crazy. That was a really close call. In Atlanta, you have to think about the entertainment industry and what happens here. People sell out for clout. People sell out for access. And so they'll try to befriend someone or become an acquaintance of someone who everyone knows is terrible, like an evil person, just so that they can gain access to a little bit of fame or money or status. And I am the complete opposite of that, guys. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give one at all. I want people to do better for themselves. I want people to realize you can go your own way, and you will gain more respect for yourself, and other people will respect you more too by doing so. And people talk about ego a lot. You know, the people with the least amount of ego are the ones who truly know themselves. So they're the ones who unapologetically say no. And I think when you think about what it means to be humble, it's okay to be unapologetically affirmative in your beliefs. And so if someone says, you know, do you want to do something and you don't want to do it, it's more humble to say no than to say yes and go along with it, because you're going to destroy a little bit of yourself on the inside along the way. And guys, for you guys out there, really think about the relationships that you're getting into. Why are you getting into that relationship? Is it just to have someone who is like a status symbol on your arm? Is it to satisfy some inner insecurity that you needed to conquer someone else? Because those are terrible reasons to go into a relationship. Now more than ever, for the straight men out there, you need to be looking at women who are slightly more conservative, who don't have massive social media presences, who want to raise a family, who are well educated, and who are emotionally balanced. And one of the biggest things I would recommend is looking for women whose father are in their lives and who they have a good relationship with their father. And you know, before we take this exit, what's crazy is I think 1 in 5 children, between 1 in 4 and 1 in 5 children in America are have single parents. And it's a tragedy, guys. And that's also by design. A lot of their parents, their fathers were taken into the prison system because of the war on drugs, which also was by design to destroy minority communities. Let's not forget, guys, the CIA runs drugs. The Department of Homeland Security runs drugs. They work with the cartel. It's all a big facade. When you even think about the names they give these departments, the Department of Homeland Security has not made us any safer. The Department of Defense is really a department of war. Homeland Security might as well be, you know, spying on Americans. Like the NSA collects all of your electronic information, all of your phone records, all of your internet search history, your emails, your texts. It's all collected, guys. And through the National Reconnaissance Office, they actually have a program that runs a real-world simulation, and they basically have an entity represented for every adult American, and it plays out scenarios into the future. And they've had that for a long time. Before anything around OpenAI came out into existence, the government has had access to AI models that are decades ahead. And the fact that people can't grasp this, it blows my mind. It really blows my mind. So when you think, are we living in a simulation? The government is already running that simulation, and basically it has the processing power to calculate what every single adult American in this country is going to be doing 10 years from now, and it plots it out. So really some things to think about, guys. You should look up the National Reconnaissance Office. We have had the technology on satellites and telescopes to take precise images of the Earth down to the centimeter level, which means the same type of telescopes that we aim out into space, we can aim downward at the Earth, and we can figure out what's going on. So if you think that the government doesn't know what these UAP, you know, unidentified aerial phenomenon objects are, they know. And not only that, they could take a picture anywhere on the Earth at the centimeter level of resolution. But of course people don't talk about that, right, guys? So that's some of the grounded truth that I'm trying to get out to you guys. This life, this society is not what you think it is. It's really just a big facade. And there's a saying by a Middle Eastern philosopher named Rumi that, you know, this life is a play, and you don't have to play along. You don't have to, you know, dance on the puppet strings of society. You really should be your own person. And that's what I'm trying to do with people. I'm trying to open their minds. I hate getting behind those trucks. Dirt and shit flies off. It's the worst. I feel like they need to be like ticketed for not having clean surfaces, and how much danger it is for those trucks to get on the highway because rocks can come off those trucks and just destroy your car, you know what I mean? But of course, they never get pulled over for that. A lot of you might ask, like, aren't you afraid that you're gonna get pulled over? And no, like, I'm really not afraid. If you take a person like me who understands society for what it is, do you think I'm afraid of, you know, law enforcement who have IQs that are lower than the average American? Like, do you really think I care about a ticket when I know how to run the system and get it dismissed? It's laughable to me, guys. Why are you so afraid? You really need to learn the world for what it is and use it to your advantage, but don't hurt people along the way. That's the number one thing. I will say, guys, for this unidentified aerial phenomenon, which is now being called non-human intelligence, they have prevented our world from basically ending multiple times based on the human actions around nuclear warfare, okay? This non-human intelligence, these UAPs, have the ability to turn off our nuclear warheads. If you want to look up something really, really interesting, in the 60s, we conducted a massive nuclear explosion in the atmosphere, even in space. It was called Operation Starfish Prime. And the US government, I think, quickly discovered that we can essentially take down a lot of these UAPs with the electromagnetic pulse, EMP, that gets generated from deploying a nuclear bomb in space. And the UAPs know this too. So what's happened, you know, since the 50s is that the UAPs tend to congregate around nuclear energy devices, whether that's nuclear submarines, nuclear power plants, nuclear missile centers, nuclear powered aircraft carriers, and they know, and they're actually, I think, trying to prevent us from exterminating ourselves based on the actions of our incredibly dumb militaries. All right, guys, welcome back to Unlockable Character. We made it to the car wash. The GoPro overheated, but it was running for like 20 minutes that last time, so not surprising. We're talking about, you know, non-human intelligence and what is considered UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomenon, and how they are drawn to sources of nuclear power and nuclear energy. And my understanding is that whatever is piloting this craft, whatever the intelligence is protecting humanity from getting exterminated from nuclear warfare, because they have the capability to turn off our nuclear missiles. And they have done so in the past, both in the United States and in Russia. And I think what's going to happen is that the US and all of its black projects, which are the top secret projects where the Pentagon spends money that's not accounted for, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars, some of those projects are reverse engineering of the crafts. And the US has been ahead of all the other countries in the world, but I think what's going to happen between 2027 and 2030 is that our adversaries like Russia and China may come out with discoveries of their own from reverse engineering efforts, and the US does not want to be seen as behind. And so that could be a really interesting time period. I do think that Donald Trump is going to become elected president, and I do think that there's a major chance for global warfare to occur between 2027 and 2030, with Taiwan being the catalyst, where China tries to take Taiwan. And what may happen is, if nuclear weapons are involved, I think that non-human intelligence will make themselves known. And what also may happen is, if China displays technology that seems, you know, non-human, the US will also demonstrate its complete technological capabilities to demonstrate its supremacy. And in doing so, the world is going to have to come to terms with the fact that our governments have known of this other intelligence, and that we have been working on reverse engineering their technology for decades now. And if you look at the technology that we have today, like fiber optics, the way that we transmit information through light, laser technology, remember that the US Navy is now deploying laser weapons onto their warships, so that we can essentially heat up a point in space and destroy something with a laser. And that's actual technology that we have today. But even if you go back to like the origin of the transistor and computer chips during the 50s, I think a lot of that has to do with reverse engineering efforts of non-human intelligence and these UAPs. So I think there's a lot more that the US has locked away. And when you think about cars, right, we love cars, but this whole oil and gas industry has been propped up by the US when we could have had other alternative clean methods of transportation, and we could have absolutely had clean forms of energy production from nuclear fusion. I think nuclear fusion is another thing that people are going to be looking at closely, especially because nowadays training these large language models, these AI models, takes so much energy. It's actually very energy inefficient today to train these models. It's very bad for the environment. And you will see people like Bill Gates pushing for more nuclear power plants in the United States. I think he's trying to build one in Wyoming, actually. And what'll happen most likely between 2030 and 2050 is a culmination of the world coming to terms with the fact that there is non-human intelligence, governments around the world finally disclosing what they know, and these top secret black projects coming to light, which will change the methods of propulsion we use for space travel, possibly change the methods of propulsion for domestic travel. We will hopefully achieve nuclear fusion if it hasn't already been achieved behind the scenes, and we would have essentially clean, free energy for the entire world. Now, all of that seems great, but you have to remember that the people in power obviously don't want to lose their power, and free energy would absolutely lose their power, and people would be upset with the fact that we've propped up this oil and gas industry, you know, propped up by the petrodollar, which was an agreement made in secret by President Nixon with Saudi Arabia, where oil would be traded in dollars globally. And that's actually what spurred a lot of wars for the US, is to protect that petrodollar, to make sure that countries would trade oil for dollars. All of that will be finally like come to a place of reckoning for people, where they'll have to understand these things. And not only that, there may be a lot of people who are just so entrenched in their beliefs with religion and things like that, that they will refuse to believe what is directly in front of them, and that could cause chaos. But you know what, guys, along the way you'll find people like me who are trying to enlighten people, trying to change their perspective, and trying to get you ready for what's coming. It feels so good to wash the car, guys. Haven't washed it in like a week because we did the PPF on the roof and the wing, and Drew told me to wait a while. I came out to my car this morning and there was a lot of dirt on the hood, and it almost looked like some animal was on top of the hood. I was like, what is that? You know what I mean? So I just hope that this wash got that off the hood as well. All right, guys. We are gonna head home now, get some footage, keep giving you perspective. And I'm telling you guys, if you join the Discord, I will help you change your life for the better. I'm not some scam artist, I'm a real person. I'm not posting other people's trades, I'm posting my own actual money, where it's going, how I'm making money. And I'm also going to be posting AI tools for you to start businesses and for you to make money online using AI. And if you start doing that now, you will be so far ahead of the curve. You could become an AI expert, and other people will come to you, and you could even do your own consulting. You could do your own coaching, you know? The pie is big enough for everyone to get a slice. I don't think that I need to keep some secrets from people, but to put the amount of time and effort in, that's why I'm charging that $9.99 for a monthly membership, guys. But I do think it'll pay off. So we got the peanut paradise with whey protein from Tropical Smoothie. That's my go-to. I was going to Kroger, which is the grocery store, and I was getting a protein shake and a honey green tea, but I realized how much sugar was actually in that. And so hopefully this has less sugar, but I'm trying to reduce my sugar intake a lot. And with the bright sun out today and the ceramic coating, the car should dry nicely. And I'm gonna check when we get out to make sure all those dirt and mud stains are gone from the hood. can tell how quiet it is with the valves closed. Guys, if you get a valve controller, please be careful to not do wide open throttle with the valves closed. That is not good for the car. You could think about that as in the exhaust, the valves are closed, and when you're on wide open throttle, there's a lot of exhaust gas flowing through the exhaust. And if the valves are closed, the exhaust gas is going to be hitting the closed valves, and it could produce some negative effects for the car. So definitely keep your valves open if you're going to be driving the car in a spirited way. And let me be clear, guys, I do not recommend that people drive the way I drive, because I have over 10 years of experience. And not only that, by the way, this is all rendered on the AI blockchain, right? We're using the render token, but do not see this and think, oh, this is what I should be doing. I have the experience, I have the track time, okay? And trust me, I still get comments, and YouTube actually holds them. YouTube holds a lot of comments for me to review. And, you know, it's a lot of people who are so caught up in society, who have never thought for themselves, you know, and they think that, you know, oh, I should go to jail, I'm causing so much disruption and harm. Trust me, guys, those people don't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein. They don't know anything about the powers that be. They don't even understand why their lives are the way they are. So when you start thinking about getting feedback from people or seeking advice, many times in life, you could have something that causes a lot of anxiety for you. Maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's a job loss, maybe you're waiting on a application for somewhere, you know, maybe college, and you're trying to find other people to talk to kind of gain a sense of comfort. What I've learned is the more you seek other people's opinion, approval, advice, the more anxious you're going to get. And guess what, guys? When you think about places like Reddit, which is basically a hive mind, a lot of those people are NPCs. And when you get advice from NPCs, you're not gonna get, you know, the comfort that you're looking for. In fact, you may be either told information that is incorrect and based upon belief systems and thinking ways of thinking that are just not going to help you get to where you are. So really, in those moments where you feel a lot of anxiety, look within. Do not always look externally for a sense of comfort or approval or advice. If you do look externally, you need to find people like myself who have been through it, who have been in the trenches, who have built their life up from basically nothing multiple times over. And when you find people like that, you realize it's always the spirit that you've had inside of you that's going to get you out of the situation. It's not trying to find some confirmation on Reddit or, you know, Quora, like some question and answer board. So just keep that in mind, guys. So we will take it easy as the car drives and it's still wet on the way back, but I'm gonna keep giving you wisdom. Oh my God, look at that. That's a dog in a crate in that pickup truck. Is it a dog? Guys, is that a dog? What is that? Oh, there's two dogs. That's crazy. I've never seen that in my life. Why not just put them in the pickup truck? They do say, guys, that, you know, dogs, like 30 years ago, dogs didn't live inside. They weren't treated like children. They were treated like animals because they are animals. And it's so funny, guys, when you think about industries and trends and even stocks to invest in, pet companies, you know, companies that support people's dogs and cats, that's a gold mine. Because instead of having kids, people are just adopting more dogs. In Atlanta, the funniest thing is, in some of these luxury apartment buildings where the rent is like $3,000, $4,000 a month, you have people trapping, you know, pit bull puppies, French pit bull puppies. So they breed them and they're selling weed at the same time, and they're probably flipping shoes and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. And if you don't know that, you know, these alternative parallel worlds exist, you wouldn't even realize it, but it's the truth, you know? And there's actually a truck up ahead putting out a ton of freaking dust and debris, of course, right after the car wash, having to deal with that. It's so annoying, guys. These truck drivers, they don't give a shit about anyone. They don't have enclosed, you know, beds. and they just spew debris, dirt, mud all over the place. Just it's so annoying, because someone like me who maintains their stuff, you know, tries to keep things as nice as possible, you just realize how many people don't give a shit about anything in the real world. And it's truly unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is, guys. You see that in Atlanta a lot. People just don't care about their cars. They drive, or maybe even they don't even have the money to support what car they're driving. So you'll see a Bentley on freaking Ling Long tires, you know what I mean? Some Chinese tires. Makes zero sense to me. A lot of people have tons of dings and all kinds of scratches, and they just don't care about their stuff. And I can understand it's just stuff, you know what I mean? But for me, it's also a reflection of who I am, how I maintain my equipment, how I maintain my property. So, you know, it's just that mindset thing, guys. So many people are just, they don't care about anything. And you can move so quickly ahead in your life if you just care, you know what I mean? And what my saying is, take care and let go. So if I maintain a car to the best of my ability and keep it pristine, and then all of a sudden the car gets totaled, I'm not gonna be crying about it. You know, I enjoyed it while I had it, and then I walk away when it's gone. And the same can be said with people. You try your best to maintain a good relationship, but if it ends, it ends. You just walk away. You take care and you let go. And I think that advice will serve you very well in anything, guys. I also posted on my story yesterday and today about this world being full of sad clowns. And it's really true, guys. A lot of people out here are desperate, depressed, in dark places of their life. And it manifests because basically they keep encountering negative situations for themselves, and they don't understand why, but they never look inward. They never say, oh, it's actually my mindset, my perspective, how I approach things. They always think it's external factors. And that's the problem, guys. People don't think internally. They don't critically think. They don't make changes to their actual life, which will break them out of a negative cycle. And I'm trying to encourage people to think differently so that they can get into a positive cycle, an upward trend, you know? All really good things to think about. Alright guys, we don't have much battery life left, but hopefully we can hit this tunnel, put this in rear wheel drive mode, have some fun. There's some huge rocks here. God damn. What's up, Unlockable Character fam? Welcome back. And I want to start off by saying this morning I posted my first option play in the Discord. So we launched the Discord last night. This morning I posted my play, and guess what? A few of our members already made hundreds of dollars. Okay, so this is real stuff. All right, I was at the dealership getting my laser tail light replaced on the right side. I was doing the research on my phone, posting my play, and when Nvidia hit $127 this morning, I posted that you could take a 0 DTE, which is a 0-day to expire option on the $125 call. And I said, you know, we'd be looking for Nvidia to hit $130 and then you could sell that call. So I went in with 10 contracts, so 10 options at a price of $3.15. Nvidia hit $130 and I made about an $1,800 profit on that. Some of the other members made $500 on 1.3K invested. Now, this is real stuff, guys. This is a real play. People are making real money, and all it costs was $9.99 a month, okay? So, in addition to the Discord, there are so many channels in here, and the only way that you will see it is if you are a member. We have investment research, short-term option plays, long-term crypto holdings, long-term stock holdings. We have a channel to introduce all the members to each other so we know where the areas of expertise are and where we can help each other. There's spirituality, there's AI research, AI tools, there's side hustle tools, there's what are you listening to in terms of music, there's our community cars channel, there's an official G80 channel for all the M3, M4, M2 owners. Okay, this is an incredible Discord community. It's only going to grow, and I am going to help these people, my family, the Unlockable Character family, make a ton of money and help you guys break free of the matrix. So definitely think about joining. You also are going to get a discount on the Unlockable Character Shopify. So I'm going to add a lot more merch. There's going to be some really funny stuff around Nvidia and other investments. There's going to be parts for the G80 platform, and you're going to get a 15% off on all of the products on the catalog. As it grows, you will always get 15% off. Guys, if you join the Discord, you're also going to get a lifetime lock if you're an early access member at $9.99 a month for life coaching with me at $50. I have raised the price to $100 now. Prepayment is required, but if you are a Discord community member with a early access membership, you will always pay $50 for the sessions. And I'm telling you right now, as time goes on, that $100 price point will go up. It will hit $200. Probably by next year. So there's incredible value in the membership just to lock in that $50 life coaching session with me. Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Let's go.